Shalom. First thing and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone and Rule Well. Peace and blessings and salutation to the hopeful elect. Noah's in the gospel bride, lifting up the standard of Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. This is another quick lesson through the Spirit. What the hell you finna do, man? Hold on, give me 1 second. Somebody's sitting in front of me. There we go. This is another lesson through the Spirit. It's going to be a quick lesson. I got one precept I'm going to go into. But fair use, fair use. I make no money from these videos. Fair use, fair use. But this is going into a multitude of black women finally admitting they think I'm going to die alone. As the late, great Kevin Samuel say, buy a dog and die alone. That's the, the mentality of all these women, because I mean, ideally nobody wants to deal with them because the entitlement, the proud, the disrespect, the standards, and yet these women have nothing to really bring to the table, but yet they have all the demands in the world for you. And men are like, you know what, fuck that shit, we go our own way. We go overseas, we get ourselves wives, we don't care to deal with you black women, mainly you black women. And really there's a shortage of men in America anyway, because you gotta think of it this way. This do not disturb shit don't even work, because when people call you, what's the point of having do not disturb if when people call you and it shuts down the video? There's no point of having do not disturb. I might as well turn it off then. But anyway, you got this lackluster effect and a lack of men here in the West, because you got a lot of these ninjas that's incarcerated, that's doing time in prison, and then you got the other third that's gay as all hell, and then you got the other ones that's leaving and going overseas and not dealing with women. So there's a shortage of men regardless of what they claim. So men are at the point they just like, what, we done, we don't want to deal with it no more, and you can't blame them. Okay, brothers are in the mindset like, what, I don't even need a woman, I'll thug this shit out by myself, because you had the elder Uriah, he did a call out to the wives and sisters in this thing, and the women ain't answering them beck and call, man, because you gotta understand that most of these so-called sisters in this thing, they're trying to get a so-called popular brother, so they're not looking at the tenets of a lower level. I won't even say lower level, because if you in this truth and you sincere, you on a level. I don't give a good goddamn how many fucking subscribers you don't have. All right, and that's another thing too. You're judged by how many subscribers you have, man, and that's not right. All right, call all y'all by Shemar Shah 4514. We in them times. But, but a lot of times, you put out videos to the women of Israel. They're not trying to deal with just who they deem as mediocre brothers, man. Okay, these women want the elders. They want the apostles. They want the men whose videos are constantly shared 24/7. So they're not looking for the men that holds a sign in the camp, because in their mindset, he's not high value. And if you got that mindset and you a sister, please unsubscribe from this page immediately. Okay, we're not playing that fucking game here. That's some bullshit, man. All right, because every brother ain't gonna generate the same type of content or attention that another man may generate. Because for one thing, demographic, where you at, and how Esau decides to shadow ban your videos. All right, but anyway, you got brothers that's like, look, I'm gonna thug it out on my own. We don't even need you women, and I understand that. I understand it, and we try not to make a habit on getting on Keisha, but the spirit is the spirit. We in them times, and you will share your men, whether you like it or not. Okay, so I'm gonna play a couple of minutes of this video, and I'll grab that precept. Only one precept, nothing too crazy, and we're not gonna try to make this a long, drawn out thing. All right, but anyway, without further delay, here we go.
No man, no
fair
kids.
Use.
It does.
I'm a dialogue, and I have come to terms with that. No, I'm not cool with sharing a man with multiple women.
As soon as we say what we're looking for in a man, people are like, oh, you're never gonna get that.
By 2030, 45% of American women are projected to be single. Wait your turn.
For real, it's no disrespect to those men. You guys are valuable. I want to mate with you? No.
Hey, so I was telling one of my male friends, as well as some of my male co-workers, I said, you know what, you guys, I'm going to keep it real with myself, right? I know that I'm going to die alone. I know I'm going to die alone. And
See, and this is the thing, right? You got a thing like this where she's probably on a scale of 10, she's probably a 2 at best. She's talking about she's not finna share her man with 5 other women, but how many men have a man had to share you with, if you think about it? Like, since you started having sex and since your hymen was broken, how many men have you've allowed to go in between your legs and have his way with you? Because see, what you women don't understand is that you got they called pair bonding issues. Every man you lay down with has an effect on you. Every man you lay down with that put his rod in you, you carry the spirit of that man on you to this very day. Now you can clearly see this woman is completely bugged out. Now she mentioned diseases and shit, right? Okay, that's fair. But see, if you women wasn't trying to have sex with the same guy because he's the most popular drug dealer in the hood and he's 6'5" and dark skin or light skin, got, you know, tattoos. If y'all wasn't trying to deal with the same niggas, you know what I'm saying? Which, I mean, granted, it happens, but if y'all all wasn't trying to, here you got 100 men and 100 women, right? 90% of those women will be trying to chase 2 guys. So that means that you got 98% of the women, 98% of the men, or 98 men that's without women, all because these women are trying to chase 2 men based on what they perceive to be a high value man, right? And here you go, and diseases spreading X, Y, and Z. But the diseases ain't even what she's worried about. It's the entitlement that comes along with it. Because in her mindset, she was taught that, well, I deserve to have my own man, which technically none of you women owns a man. Okay, you don't own the man. You don't own anything that has anything to do with the man. The scriptures say, he that getteth the wife, getteth the possession, not the other way around. So for a lot of times, you brides to say shit like that, you think because, oh, you deserve your own man. No, you're going to share your man on this side and on the next side for eternity. All right? Let me repeat that. You will share your man for an eternity, whether you like it or not. And if you don't like it, then get lost. All right? I wish a woman would tell me, I don't want to share my man. I'm not your man. All right? You my woman. I'm not your man. All right? Now, in tandem, I'm dealing with you. So, of course, you have access to me. But overall, I belong to Yahweh Shemi Hawashai. You belong to me. And that's how this is going to work. And that's what needs to be pushed. Okay? All this fucking proud behavior and all this, I want my own, fuck all that shit, all right? Because ain't none of you hoes out there are virgins, so I don't want to hear that. Unless you a fucking virgin and you've never known a man, let alone entertained a man, we ain't got nothing to talk about. So you're going to have to pipe to the tune of the men of the Most High in a shortcoming while, all right? Whether you like it or not. We don't care how you feel about it. If you don't like it and you a woman, then get the hell off my page. It's just that easy, okay? We're not fucking playing games with you people, man. All right, a little bit more of this madness.
I understand that, but are you sure that's not the only reason you're gonna die alone? Are you sure it's not because of age? Are you sure it's not because of your standards? Like, are you really sure? Like, come on, be completely honest. Because I'm looking at you right now. You look like you got a lot on your mind. You look like you're from Among Us. You're one of them aliens that read brains, and they suck out your brains, and that's how the head gets bigger. The actual large extremities. Let's continue.
I'm not cool with that. I'm not cool with living in the household with multiple women.
It's delusional.
Seeing, quote unquote, my man kiss this woman, have.
You don't have a fucking man. You don't have one. And the fact that you think that you too good to share your man with somebody, with another woman, that shows how out of order you are, okay? I don't know who told you that you're just something special, but you're not. At the end of the day, the man is the prize. And you women, you know that because you the ones that's complaining because you don't have men. You the ones that's complaining. Men ain't complaining like that no more. Men are complaining, but the man is over the American woman. Okay, you American women are mainly recreational material. That's really it. That's really what men only deal with you for, is because it's just, you're just like a child's play thing at this point. Okay, men are not marrying here in America because they know it's a trap. Now, granted, you got decent women out there. I'm not going to say all you women, because you got some traditional ones that's still out there. But most of these untraditional women, they expect traditional results from men. And then men are not dealing with that, man. So for you sisters in this thing, if you sincere about finding you a husband, a man of the Lord, you better start hitting them comment boards, man, or finding emails out, or sending gifts or whatever, man. Because I mean, we're coming to time now, either you're gonna be covered or you're not. And you know, we know that Jake liked to procrastinate. The minute all hell break loose, and all of a sudden you're gonna have the daughters of Sarah popping up at your goddamn door, like, wait a minute, how the hell you get my address? Like, I ain't give you my address. You know what I'm saying? And we don't want to play them games. So, you know, if you are in the right spirit, the Lord will pair you up with a man of the Lord. And it ain't even up to you. The Lord is going to take care of all that, you know. So, you know, it is what it is. But I'm going to play a little bit more of this. I got 2 precepts. I told her tell. I said I had 1, but I actually got 2. Because another one came to my mind when she made such a dumb statement like that. My man. Bitch, you don't have a fucking man, all right?
Sex with this woman, you know, I can't take it, y'all. I just can't, because the way
Who's gonna tell her?
I was raised that it should be 1 man and 1 woman. You know what I mean? You guys get together, you love each other, you work it out, and you know, hopefully you live happily ever after. But I know what I realize now is that I'm in 2025, and that's not how it goes. Like, it goes where, you know, you're sharing your man. You think it's your man. You're sharing it. You're sharing him with mom.
You know, it's the wild thing, right? Everything she's saying, this has been happening. Like, it's just been so taboo because you didn't have the internet before. You didn't have a bunch of men talking about what they're doing, but it's not just because Red Pill just happened that men said, okay, I need to get the bag so I can do whatever I want with women. But that's always been the case. Hypergamy has always been here. Ever since the beginning of time, back in the Bible days, we have what? Prostitutes. I say that because you can't say it. I gotta say it like a roster, right? Prostitutes. Things have always been the same.
Multiple women. Or if you're not sharing him with multiple women, you're sharing him with men and women.
Where are you from?
And I'm not cool with that, y'all. Like,
Wow.
you know, I don't know if you guys seen it, but there's 200,000 cases in Houston, Texas of people with AIDS and HIV.
Well, that's because people took that goddamn jump shot. That's why a lot of that is happening. And on top of that, it's because you women are jumping rod the rides, and it's a lot of momoality going on in Houston, and a lot of you women, low-key, you're sleeping with moles. And then you'll come home and give it to the man, and statistics will show that, oh, it's the man that's spreading. No, it's you women, because you women are completely out of fucking order. All right, you're completely out of order, and the spirit is not with y'all. All right, you're going to have to come under man of the Lord. All right, if you want to have any chance of fighting up out of here, you know, if you're young enough. This is the book of Corinthians, 1 Corinthians 11. And I'm going to start at verses 8. It says, for the man is not of the woman, but the woman of the man. Neither was the man created for the woman, but the woman for the man. So when you say my man, you don't have possession of him. You don't possess a man. Okay, a man can have multiple possessions, but you, on the other hand, you don't possess a man, because that's not the order that the Heavenly Father has set up for his men. All right. So therefore, you know, you don't have ownership to a man to be exclusively, for him to be exclusively to you. Now, granted, you do have men that deal with one woman, and there's nothing wrong with that, especially in the world we live in. So we're not telling brothers to go out there and just court multiple women to themselves just because you can. But we're putting the realism on the entitlement here, man. You know, neither was the man created for the woman, but the woman for the man. All right. So there you go. You women belong to the men at the end of the day. All right. It says that the Most High gave Adam a helpmeet. He gave her. Basically, it was for his benefactor. All right. The scriptures say, he that got it the wife get it the possession. That's in Sirach 20:36 and 24. And start at verses 21. It says here, a woman will receive every man, yet is one daughter better than another. Yeah, you women, you don't know how to choose men. Okay, this is why a lot of you are going after these Dantes and Delantes and Quanies and all these other niggas that you chase. You know, like I mentioned, you have 100 men and 100 women, and 80% of those women, or 80 of those women, we trying to get with 20 fucking dudes. And yeah, you got 80 men out there. Each man can have his own woman, but yeah, these women want to get with these other niggas, bro. to show you that you don't know how to choose men. It says, the beauty of a woman cheered the countenance, and the man loveth nothing better. Yeah, fine ass woman. We love it. It says, if there be meekness and kindness and comfort in our tongue, then is not her husband like other men? But he that getteth the wife begetteth the possession. Wait, it didn't say she that getteth the husband begetteth the possession. He that getteth the wife begetteth the possession. Okay? That's what that means. He that begetteth the wife begetteth the possession. And it says here, a help like unto himself, a pillar of rest. So you're just an addition to my household. It says, where no hedge is, there the possession is spoiled. There's no protection. That's why women are booty right now, meaning spoiled. This is why they're hoes. This is why they have diseases. This is why they jump and ride the ride. This is why there's a double standard. I can do to you, but you can't do to them. You know? And he that have no wife will wander up and down mourning. Okay? And that's why men are getting passports, because they like, you know what? I can't deal with this no more. I can't even bag a woman righteously in my own country. You see? Isaiah 4:1. In that day, 7 women should take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. Okay? So there you go. So you will share your men whether you think so or not. But with that, all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Lord, is where you were edified. Until the next lesson. Shalom.
Fear for that, you know what I mean? Because
You see, and what she mentioned Houston. What's happening in Houston? I just made a video about this the other day. They're all, like she said, sharing the same men. But that's the men that they're picking. They're limiting themselves to a small number of options. That's what happens when you all chase the guy 6'5", 6'2", 6'3", anything over 6 foot has the bag or acts like he has the bag. Because if a man is over the 6s, a lot of times he doesn't need to have the bag. You ladies have shown that already. You're just throwing good genes. I forgot to react to that video. A guy, Mr. 6'8", right? He said he has 8 kids. She said, oh, she understood. She said, oh, I understand. Because your genes need to spread. That's what this woman had a nerve to say. We have a problem. Not just Houston, the whole United States of America.
you know, everybody's not clean. Everybody's not the way self-care, their hygiene, you know, man, people is just not, you know what I mean? So I'd rather know that I'm safe, and, you know, I don't have to worry about any diseases, and, you know what I mean? You just never know, but I'm just not cool. And you can tell me if I'm wrong or not, but y'all, I'm not cool with sharing a man with multiple women, or a man with men and women, you know what I mean, in their lives, you know what I mean? And if that's old-fashioned of me or whatever, I'm not with modern day times, then I'm gonna die a lonely bitch. And I just came to terms with that. That's what it is, and that's how I'm finna live my life, period. So it is what it is.
And now I gotta say, with this video right here, you're gonna see